Nothing can be further from the truth than the illusion of finding fulfillment and happiness in another when we are void of such happiness. This has pushed most singles into a life of endless misery and agony. How well your relationships thrive or break is greatly dependent on you as a person, meaning a crushed version of you can only beget a crushed relationship. Hello there, and welcome to Insights with Joan. I'm Joan Amani, and if this is your first time of coming to this channel, I'm elated to have you here. Welcome. I hope you like the channel, subscribe, and click the notification to receive the latest videos every week. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for engaging with my content. I really appreciate you returning and watching every single video I put out. Thank you so much. For today, I'm going to be reviewing a book I've been looking forward to reviewing. That means before I purchased the book, I've been looking forward to reading it, and now I'm excited to review it. And the book is none other than I Do, I Don't by Deli Singer. In this book, Deli Singer gives us a robust outlook on intimate relationships. She shares her views on how we can better improve our relationship with ourselves and, as a result, our external intimate relationships with others. Relationships are complex, and most often we desire to dive into relationships with other people without properly developing and building an intimate and happy relationship with our own selves. Most often it's easy to believe that once you're connected to somebody else, you're going to become happier, which is partly true, but most often, if you're not happy on your own, it's going to put the burden on somebody else to make you happy, which is an almost impossible task. Imagine how hard it is for comedians to make somebody laugh. One more of making somebody permanently happy. The first chapter of this book dives into self love and how to better take care and love yourself and develop an intimate and happy and loving relationship with yourself before extending a hand to loving and taking care of somebody else. The book I think is a well-rounded book that deals with self-love, as I've spoken about. It equally deals with daily dating, that's going out with different people until you find your mate. And once you found your mate, she tackles courtship, questions to ask, how to know if the person is right for you, how to determine red flags. And once you're ready to get married, things to do, marital counseling and all whatnot, and planning your wedding and what to do after the wedding. That includes sex and all the likes. So this is a really well written, well researched, very well thought out book. And if you're a single person, please try and get this book. Or if you're in a relationship, you should get this book. And even if you're married, I think the section on self-care and self-love is something that every single person can benefit from. So definitely grab the book if you are into any form of relationship. So what there are a couple of things I like about the book. The first thing that appeals to me about the book is the fact that it is very well written, well researched, well thought out, and very current. So while I was reading the book, I remember just talking to my sister and telling her that, oh wow, this book reminds me of so many other books I've read in the past. For instance, she talks about personality types, which is a book I just reviewed on my channel a couple of weeks ago, that tackles personality types, and it's surrounded by Idiot by Thomas Erickson. The book also talks about self-love and self-care, which is slightly relates to Miles Monroe's book titled Keys for Living Singles. And it has hints of self care for women as well, which is really related to Kingsley Okonkwo's book, Seven Things I Badly Want to Tell Women. It tackles love languages as well, which is, of course, Gary Chapman's Five Love Languages. I think I reviewed this about 2 years ago on my channel. And it talks about, it has little hints of purpose. I think I saw a quote there from In Pursuit of Purpose by Miles Monroe, and it goes on and on and on. I mean, the list is endless. This was a book that was well researched, and as a result, I have a lot of respect for the book because I know the content that went to it was well thought out, well researched, and it can be backed. The second thing I love about this book is the fact that it's practical. Sometimes when you're reading nonfiction, it can be too theoretical and you try to break down the concepts into how you can apply them in everyday life, but this is not that kind of book. This book is very practical, from questions to ask when you're dating, questions to ask during courtship, getting to marriage counseling, how to deal with sex after during marriage, and how to deal with wedding planning. So there are very practical how-to steps in the book. It's not something that you need to read and hit your head over the wall on how to understand. It's easy. No matter your level of education, if you can read and write, then you certainly can understand the concept in this book, and it's going to benefit you while you're building your relationships. The third thing I like about this book is the fact that it's worth the price. I hardly talk about the price of books on this channel, but there are times that I get a book and I'm like, why did I spend this money? This wasn't worth it. But this is not the book. This is definitely not one of those books that you regret buying. I've read a couple of non-fiction books from African authors, and I feel like the price wasn't commensurate to the content, but this one is certainly worth the price. I mean, it's 100% worth the price. I feel like I underestimated the content of the book and the quality of the book, and when I read it, I was like, wow. The books I tried to compare it with were really down there. So this one was really, it exceeded my expectations. I was happy reading it. I was happy that it brought to mind concepts I've read in other books, and I was like, she read this book. She's read this book. This comes from here. When I was reading, I was like, she really did lots and lots and lots of research, which is something I appreciate when I'm spending my money to buy a book, because you don't want to buy a book or invest in anything and the person didn't put any effort in creating the product. So, well, this is a well thought out book. Kudos to my Cameroonian sister, Deli Singah. It has made me a very proud Cameroonian, a very proud African, a very proud graphic girl. Yes, so high five and thank you for giving this book to us. We appreciate the book and it's outstanding. So thank you so much. And that's that about my book review. If you have any questions, any thoughts on how to get the book, or any views on the book, please put it in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, keep reading, exploring, and having fun. Bye.